Hello everybody and welcome back to the Who Bulletin. Holy shit, it's been a couple of weeks. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've done this. Very strange, very unusual. It's been so busy. It's been so fucking busy recently, and there's been so much... well, there's not really been news as such from Doctor Who. Let me just share this link in the Discord as per, and then I'll say my welcomes to everyone, and then I'll talk about what we're going to talk about today. Because there's a lot to talk about. But also nothing to talk about. It's a very strange one. So, welcome, one and all. Welcome to the usuals and welcome to the new people. Mr. Scarlo, Mr. XD Gamers YT, Dr. Master, Matt L. A lot from them. Carl, Jess Hood, E913, and Ethan DJC. Welcome to the stream, everyone. If you're there and you're not chatting, chat, and I'll be more than happy to respond. What the fuck am I talking about? Who knows? So today we're going to be talking about a few things. So first of all, we'll be catching up on a Whodle because we haven't done that in a couple of weeks. Our last stream was at the beginning of the month, just after my birthday. I think it was 5th of March was our last stream, maybe. So it's been a fucking while, actually. Since then, not much has changed regarding Doctor Who. We've not had any more promotional material, really. We had a casting announcement and then a bit more sort of direction on what might be happening with the finale. But other than that, we've had pretty much fuck all. And I've been out and about and doing shit. I mean, there's a lot of football stuff going on as well, as some of you may or may not be aware of, but for me that's pretty big. It's important to me. So that's very exciting. For some reason the chat isn't coming through properly, which is fantastic. God, yeah, but how have you all been? How's everything going in the Doctor Who fandom at the minute? Anything interesting that you want to flag? Put it in the chat. I'd love to have a look. So while we warm up to the conversation topic of this stream, let's get into the Whodle, our weekly thing. I need to go back to like the current date. This is like, for some reason my Whodle loads like a year ago. Almost a year ago. So we last streamed on the 5th of March. So we've got everything from the 6th onwards. If you don't know what Whodle is, we look at photos to kind of go forward. Can you give us your best Kal-El? No, that's probably it. Kal-El, no. That's about the same level of inflection that Gal Gadot did. Newcastle. Interesting. We might talk about that. Who knows? Wonder why I'll be doing that. Ainsley Master reincarnated. Ainsley is another guy, and I love him as well, but yeah. No, the beard's kind of common now. I mean, I've kind of shaved it down a little bit. It used to be sort of very just messy and kind of undone, so I kind of kept it to the goatee area, not that it matches up. So it's not very mastery, but I guess it's fine. It sticks for now. Our first Whodle is this year. God, 12 years on YouTube. Jesus Christ. God, that's coming up, isn't it? That is the actual anniversary coming up for me, I think. Jesus. I don't know with this one. I'm guessing like Whittaker, but I can't remember when this would be. Survivors of the Flux. The only thing I can think of is like a newish one. What is this? Magnets? Could be Spyfall Part 2. Yeah, little magnet fair. I don't remember this, but fine. Sounds good. This one, it's been used for multiple filming locations. So it's one of two. It's either Kill the Moon or it's like fucking Love and Monsters. I'm gonna go Kill the Moon. No, it's not. It's not even that. It's not even either of those, but it has been used in those episodes. This is Last of the Time Lords. Yeah. It's Jack's sort of locked up location. Classic. Enjoying your bacon sandwich? Why? Because I had a mummy and a daddy. Go tell a pig about your moral high ground. That is world enough in time, and I know that a mile off. Yeah. Yep. Welcome to the stream, everyone. Ed Hudak, Cybernova DW, I have Thunder, Underhenge. Welcome everyone, welcome everyone, welcome everyone. What else we got here? I ain't got a clue. Even the music cue with that one. I don't know what they're taking. I'm going to say the Lodger is my only guess.
It's not parallel universe.
Right, Doctor.
It's a pocket universe. Plus, it is collapsing.
Time of the Doctor? No, it's not Time of the Doctor. It's Doctor's wife.
How do sharks make babies?
Carefully.
No, it's not.
How do sharks make babies?
Carefully.
Is that Clara? That's put me right off. Pocket universe.
It's not parallel universe. It's a pocket universe. Plus, it is collapsing.
Parallel but pocket universe collapsing.
How do
Hide!
sharks make babies?
Hide! It's Hide! Hide!
The ghost of Caliban House. Never.
Oh yeah, there's the third Doctor set. We'll talk about that. The Doctor, the Widow, and the Wardrobe. Absolutely, absolutely. Newer episodes, not too new though. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is. It could be. This could be fucking. I'm Nikola Tesla. I'm gonna guess, but I don't think it's right. It's definitely Jodie. I'm gathering that. You know, kind of got that, but I don't know when. Sontaran one, War of the Sontarans, maybe. Witchfinders, could it be? Oh, Village of the Angels. It's Village of the fucking Angels, isn't it? Yeah. Yep. That, by the way, is a gorgeous shot. Love that. I need to rewatch some of these, man. Doomsday. Because it's actually opening. Yep. Come on, man. That's Cult of Skaro from a mile off. I see that. I know that shit. 13. Once Upon a Time. Is it Twice Upon a Time? Nope. What the fuck is this? This looks good, but I don't know what the hell it is. Me? Oh, no, it's not. It's Zygon Inversion. Zygon Invasion. Oh, fuck's sake, yeah. It's a Zygon 2-part. I haven't watched that in years. Not a clue. Looks like a Jodie episode. Can you hear me, maybe? Endless Cities of Steel Firebolts. I have no, actually no fucking idea with this one. I don't know. Orphan 55? No. Oh, we're going way later. Okay, this is Flux then. What? Well, it's definitely Flux. So, the Vanquishers? No, Survivors of the Flux. Checks out, because that's the woman in the market, and yep. That's the doorways, yes, and then yes, and yes, of course. Checks out, that makes sense. Murray Gold. Oh, the beeping is familiar, but I don't know where from. Voyage of the Damned is my guess.
You realize you haven't the slightest chance of saving your little friend. You realize you haven't the slightest chance of saving your little friend.
Who the fuck is that?
You realize you haven't the slightest chance of saving your little friend.
Oh, who is that? Who is that? That's Bells of St. John? Yeah! Come on! I'm happy with that.
Actually, he's about to go on holiday. Kill him when he gets back. Is that what you do? You bring a...
Yeah, I know. I gathered that. It's good. It's good. We reckon there could be around 21 quadrillion blank on the planet in total. Jade. Oh, end of the world, right? Oh, no? We got a different Jade? Okay. Very big blank. What have we got? Peppermint and tea tree oil diluted with water. I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Orphan 55 again. We're out. It's contained only a blank, big blank, but only a blank. Not Mad Game Blank. Who's Jade? Unless it's Praxius, maybe? Robertson. Oh, Arachnids in the fucking UK? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Spider. So, oh, yeah, of course it is. Arachnids in the UK, not Spider. Yep. I'm going to say turn left. Wrong. But it's that era. What the actual fuck is this? I'm really struggling with this one. This is just not ringing any bells for me. Oh, Fear Her. Hang on. You gotta be on it. Drawing pencils. Of course it is. If it were that one, I would have got it in one. That also makes sense. See, this makes you think that it's... Yeah, I think this is an older one. The BBC logos are inconsistent because they're starting to get screenshots from now where the new BBC logo is pasted over it. So I'm trying to remember what the fuck this is. This looks like it could be several things. My instinct was Tooth and Claw, but I'm probably wrong in that. Oh, it's Silence in the Library. Yeah, immediately you can see Donna phasing away there. And that makes sense. Also, yeah, why would I have gone for Tooth and Claw when there's clearly like electric lights on the wall? I mean, yeah. Yep. Oh, cool. Well, we've done our Whodle then. Whodle, whatever you want to call it. Welcome one and all. For those who are joining just now, you haven't missed anything. Don't you worry. We're just getting started. We're warming up with a bit of a Whodle and a bit of a fun Doctor Who memory lane session. So at the minute, let's talk about news. So the big thing for me is the Twitter stuff, right? So there have been various rumours, as there always are with Doctor Who, where something is going wrong, and I never want to play into them. Ever. I never, ever want to... Oh, don't hit the mic, George. I'm professional. I never, ever want to play into them. I never, ever do. But this is a time where I'm sort of like, there seems to be something weird going on, and I kind of want to talk about that. Because the important thing to note is we're now less than a month away from a brand new series of Doctor Who, and the marketing has just disappeared. It's like fell off a cliff. They were like constantly promoting stuff, getting stuff out there, and I kind of want to talk about that and break it down a little bit. There is a new series of Doctor Who in 3.5 weeks exactly. So we'd expect promotion of that. Announcements, promo images, maybe even fucking like promotion just out and about on the side of buses and stuff. Like, we're not building up to that a little bit? I know it's still 3.5 weeks away, but we should be starting to see more stuff and hear more stuff about it. And this isn't the criticism of the marketing, it's more the timing of it, because they did have a good marketing schedule. Let's also have a look at the Doctor Who YouTube channel, which I'm sure is still going strong generally. But let's talk about that as well, because I think it's a sort of wider question about what is going on with like the promotion of Doctor Who, right? So like we go to the channel, we could see something was posted 4 days ago, which is great. And there is an upcoming live stream, which is scheduled for tomorrow, which is great. The content recently has been really cool, really interesting. A little bit more just kind of... It's really interesting. So I don't ever like really talking about what I do for work, but I can kind of just drop in that like the kind of work that I do is YouTube channel strategy, right? So like I have somewhat of an insight as to how this shit works, and it is planned a lot in advance. So it's very likely that if, let's say if like they killed the whole thing tomorrow, like it will have been scheduled for another month and a half ahead. That includes live streams as well, by the way. They'll be pre-set up on some sort of system. Instagram is still active, says Oasis Central, so I'm keen to look at that. But it would be weird why they're suddenly not posting on Twitter when Instagram is still working. Doctor. I don't think it's anything. As much as I'd love to say it's something to do with that, I have zero faith that it's anything to do with them leaving Twitter because of Elon Musk. So they've posted. Oh, they did post 2 days ago then. So they have posted some stuff then. What is going on then? They've posted shit here. What is going on with the Doctor Who Twitter then? Because they posted stuff about Gallicab, which is great. They're posting clips about Paddy's Day. They're posting stuff every other day. I really don't understand. You've got Doctor Who and Roblox. Brilliant. Very odd that we're not getting more of this, right? Because on Twitter, the last thing they posted was this for Freddie Fox joining the cast, which we'll talk about. And then they retweeted this a couple of days ago. Which is the Comic-Con adventure thing, right? But that's it. Fuck all else. And I just, it's concerning. I don't think it means anything, but it is concerning. Another thing that was recently pointed out was that Ncuti had removed 15 or Doctor or something from his Instagram bio, which, again, nothing to like look into too deeply, but it is interesting given the rumors that are going around at the minute. It's likely he's just kind of rebranded his profile. Like I've moved things around in my Twitter bio, my Instagram bio. It's worth checking the Disney Doctor Who account, actually. That's been inactive for quite a while, I think. They haven't posted that. Oh no, they have. Yeah, the Disney one are posting. They're just posting old, like, photos that we've already seen. That was like 2 hours ago. They are kind of pushing it. They're still pushing it. It's just an odd one with the Twitter. I don't know why it is. You feel like if they've moved away from Twitter properly, then that something would have been expressed about that. But like, I guess fair enough. It just feels like an odd time to do it, just prior to a new series coming out. Ncuti removing stuff out of his bio is interesting amidst news and rumors of him leaving. I don't think he's leaving again just yet, but I do think it's possible he would leave. I don't think it's completely off the table. I think given like I think the whole season 1 relaunch thing that they did was like an amazing idea, and I just don't think it's worked too well because it does feel more like series 14 than it feels like season 1, if that makes sense. Like it does feel like a direct continuation as opposed to like a reboot, and it needed to be a reboot, and I was kind of hoping it would be a reboot. So I just feel it maybe like the cast and maybe someone like Ncuti who has got a very exciting career ahead of him. I do worry. I'm cutting out every few seconds. Am I? I don't know why that is. Huh. That's weird. Am I actually? I shouldn't be. Let me check the playback. Hang on. I wonder if it's my mic just playing up. Hang on, let me just replug. Let me just redo that. Hello, hello. I feel like I've been having a few issues with my mic at the minute, so maybe that's something I need to look into and just get sorted at some point. Hopefully that fixes it. If not, then I do apologize for that. That's kind of fucking annoying, to be honest with you. I also feel like I'm probably really quiet. I feel quiet. I feel like I'm quiet here. But I don't know. Maybe that's a bit better. Yeah, that's a bit louder, a bit more intense. Yeah. See, my worries are, and it's the other thing as well, is like, if Russell is now, like, I believe, working on different projects beyond Doctor Who. I'm worried because, yeah, so Russell's sort of working on a new show or a new project, which is absolutely fine. I mean, he worked on Nolly alongside the 60th anniversary specials. But then it's Ncuti also, like, taking that out of his bio, the rumours of him wanting to sort of move on, not seeming super unlikely. Like, I don't want to be one of the people who believes that the Doctor's, like, the actor who plays the Doctor is gone immediately, because it's what happened with Jodie and people were like, oh, Chaos in Cardiff and all that sort of thing. And I don't want to be the one to sort of start those rumours or share those rumours or sort of give them any sort of leverage. But the reason I'm talking about it is because it does have me confused as to what the future of the show is from this point, and what the next couple of years are going to look like. I doubt the BBC are going to want to put it on any sort of hiatus anytime soon. I mean, this is the 20th anniversary of Series 1 in 2005, which is incredible. But I don't know what we can keep doing. Like, if Russell, let's say, steps away, if Ncuti steps away, I do worry about that. I don't think Russell's going, by the way. I'll specify that. He did say in a recent interview with David Tennant that there would be a vigorous process to sort of find the next person, and he'd probably, like, oversee it a bit more. I think it's a bit of it's a bit of an exaggeration to imply that what I was saying about Russell taking other work is like, how dare he not be attached to Doctor Who all the time. That's not what I'm saying, but it's just interesting in a time where we've got radio silence about the third season being greenlit, and him announcing that he's going to do another project soon. Ncuti rumours coming out about him. Still no word about a third season. From a strictly Doctor Who perspective, it's like, oh, that's fair enough. And Russell could easily move away and work on something else tomorrow. Like, that's well within his right. Like, he's almost seen over like a handover. When it was announced that Russell was coming back to write the 60th anniversary specials and the season after, in my mind, he was always going to do 3 specials and 1 season. And then he's sort of, like, as time's gone on, just implied that he's doing 3, 4, 5. Like, he's just going to keep doing it. And that's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, I have faith in that. But I do think that, like, there'll probably surely be a point soon where he probably does go, yeah, I'm done for now. I'm happy to sort of dip on this. But what he needs to do is almost give it a good transitional period. Oh boy, yeah, we'll talk about John Barrowman, don't worry. But also, like, the thing with the seasons and all that sort of thing, like, I don't give a shit what it's called, to be honest with you. I love the idea of it being season 1. I think for me it made complete sense, but the problem is the content doesn't reflect that. I understand for Disney Plus it makes sense, but you need to reboot it. I'm not saying there's any problem with, like, the numbering going back to 1, because that's what we did in 2005, and that worked really well. I love that. But there's nothing wrong with that. But that was a reinvention of the brand. It was a reinvention of the show in terms of the format, in terms of everything. Whereas this feels structurally and story-wise exactly the same as pretty much everything we've seen for the last 20 years. And isn't distinct enough. And hasn't come with a few-year hiatus to justify it going back to season 1 in my mind. Despite it would be confusing. I was all down for that. I completely agree with that. But I think what they wanted it to be was a big new rebrand. And I just don't know if it is or not. I just don't know if it is. And I think, yeah, when I look at it, I'm like, I cannot... you look at the pre-season 1 marketing material, they're trying to make it like a big rebrand kind of thing, and I just feel like they've missed the mark. Do you feel like when you've watched season 1, it feels like a big reboot of the show? Like the equivalent of like series 1 in 2005? I mean, not for me. And it's not a bad thing. I don't knock it. Look, if it doesn't have to be brand new, but there's just some confusion there. And confusion doesn't bring in new viewers, and I think that... my theory is that Season 1 didn't perform as well as they probably wanted it to, or expected it to by any means. So now we're sat at this awkward crossroads where Season 2 is about to come out, but they are not confirming what's happening beyond that yet. I enjoyed Season 1. I wanted maybe something a bit different, but I enjoyed it. Right? I did enjoy it. Yeah, I mean, Christ, if Ncuti does leave, that'll be like... I think it's like, what, 5 Doctors in 5 years? Which is crazy when you think about that. Because we go back to 2020, and we're talking about, like, 13th Doctor, Fugitive Doctor, 14th Doctor, 15th Doctor, and then a 16th Doctor. All within 5 years. That's a lot. In terms of new Doctors, like, obviously I know, like, Fugitive was part of 13's era, right? But it was still a new incarnation of the Doctor, right? They've put their foot on the accelerator a little bit. I know. I just want... It's that whole thing about promotion. And I think when there's rumours going around and there's nothing done to knock those rumours off. It's like when the rumours last year about... Like, do you remember there was, like, rumours that Millie Gibson has been fired because she was, like, a diva on set or something? And then it turned out that was complete bollocks. But the point being that Russell, nor the BBC, no one stood in to protect this 19, 20-year-old actress from a lot of online criticism and false fucking rumours. Because they didn't want to give away what was happening. It's like, shut the fuck up, man. That's more important than promoting your fucking show and keeping secrets. Like, you've got to just sometimes give a bit of context because rumours will spiral. And the Doctor Who has a very active online... the Doctor Who, did I just say? Doctor Who has a very active online fan base and a lot of very active online fans who will constantly talk about it and are desperate for information. And just because they're desperate doesn't mean we deserve to have fucking information. We certainly don't. Theorising is part of it, and being left in the dark is part of that. But it's shit like that feels odd. And it's shit like now when it's like, well, we're less than a month away from a new series. Where's the promotion? We've got our trailers, right? But, like, now's the time to start occasionally posting a photo. We've got the Radio Times coming in and posting, releasing a new issue of their magazine with alternating covers of different Doctors to celebrate New Who at 20. You know? 20 years since Doctor Who came back in 2005. Very exciting one for them, right? When did Rose first air? Have we already gone past it? No. So it's 26th of March 2005. We're coming up in about just over a week. We're coming up on the 20th anniversary of Rose, the episode that brought the show back, the series that brought the show back. We've got a new series of Doctor Who coming out next month. It's a perfect time to start promoting, and it just feels like there's no momentum. And when the Twitter page goes from incredibly active to incredibly dead as fuck, it's very concerning, I think. From a fan perspective, it is concerning. Now, I'm sure there are Twitter alternatives. I mean, you've got Blue Sky and stuff. Now, I'd be interested to see if Doctor Who are now on Blue Sky. I don't know if they are. I don't know if there is an official Doctor Who account. So, yeah, there is an official Doctor Who account on Blue Sky, which is amazing. Oh, no, it's not. It's just an account that reposts everything that posts on Twitter. So Doctor Who haven't got an official Blue Sky account, right? Their Twitter has been dead. Their Instagram's still very active. Very active. But it just kind of makes you think, what the fuck is going on? because it's sort of strange, like a show that is promoting the show, a page that is promoting the show year round. It's constantly talking about it. You're constantly having articles written about it. I mean, you had the thing about Galley Cab, the sort of article about that. I mean, that's... What the fuck? Did we get a Twitch fucking... Yeah, I don't know why the Twitch chat's coming up on YouTube. I did not expect that sound effect to start playing. I don't even know how we've got those. Ah! But yeah, we had the article released about Galley Cab, which is on the website. They posted it on Instagram, and it's amazing that it's a great little article giving a lot of love to this fantastic fan project. Yet, fuck all about it on Twitter. Instagram's there. The website's being kept updated, but nothing beyond that. And it makes me think, like, what is going to be the next big bit of news that they release? And will it make it onto Twitter? It's not necessarily that important, because it's just Twitter. But it is odd, because you've got 1.5 million followers there. And whatever you think about the politics of Elon Musk, I think, personally, in my humble opinion, I fucking hate Elon Musk. I think he's an absolute piece of shit and a horrible, horrible human being. But the reason I don't leave Twitter in protest of that is simply because it's like, well, it's sort of a hard one, because when you've built up an existing profile on a website and you're a content creator like myself, you still feel the need to utilize that. It's the same reason a lot of people still post on Twitter, is because they go to a new thing and they lose... I don't know why I'm just scrolling Twitter now. But they it's hard to build up a new existing profile on a different website and a different platform. So you could fully quit Twitter and be completely excused from Doctor Who's perspective, right? But Doctor Who, to move away from Twitter from like an Elon Musk perspective, I think has fuck all to do with it. I think it's completely down, because there are other accounts, thousands of accounts, brand accounts still using Twitter, because realistically they've built up a following on there. They've got fucking 1.5 million followers on Twitter. They'd be stupid to drop that in a heartbeat. Very silly. Very silly. But yeah, it is... The platform is dying, but it's still something that should be used from the Doctor Who social team. There's no reason why they would just dump it. And also, like, if you're going to, just fucking say something. Again, we're on the verge of a new series. If you're going to bin it after the fucking series has come out. I really don't understand this. And in terms of just, like, promotion, again, we're in that point of Doctor Who where we wanted more. And we're getting some new photos and stuff from fucking... oh, my God. You're getting... I'm talking bollocks now. Hang on, I need to like just stop, because I'm just like waffling and just like rabbiting on, and it just doesn't even make any fucking sense anymore. Yeah, let's talk about the John Barrowman stuff, because I'll get my opinion out there, because that's what this is all about. I think he's a fucking idiot. I can't lie to you. He's a fucking idiot. And he got interviewed for this thing. And he talked about the on-set behaviour, and he was questioned about it. And I think the interviewer did a very good job of prodding him. But I can't believe why this man seems to double down on everything. And if you're not familiar, there's a smattering of things that have been brought up from that. John Barrowman getting dragged in the press a few years ago for his behaviour on set of Doctor Who and Torchwood 10, 15 years ago did kind of come out of nowhere. But instead of accepting that and apologising for his behaviour and standing by and going, actually, you know what, guys, that was wrong. I shouldn't have whipped my cock out on set. That was unprofessional. That was wrong. You know, I regret it. And move on. Even if he doesn't even regret it, just say you regret it. Because you're not going to do yourself any favours. Instead, he seems to be going on with this sort of this angle of going, anyone who disagrees with me, anyone who calls me out about my behaviour on set, anyone who rightfully calls me out about my behaviour on set is a hater, and you're a hater. You guys are haters. It's his entire personality has been around that, and it's sort of the promiscuous nature of a character like Captain Jack Harkness, I think, is almost blended into his personality too much, where he is just a bit like that, and I guess he's not going to change, and that's fine. It's fucking annoying, because, like, I mean, I've met the guy on set, and he was absolutely fine, because that was in 2019, yeah, and he was lovely, and I there was nothing at the time that I knew of where I would have thought anything different, and I thought he was a lovely guy. But nowadays, I hate him. I think he's a fucking dick. And he said he did one nude scene in Doctor Who, and that would have been in like the end of series 1, where he sort of pulled a blaster out of his arse or whatever. But that was not really a nude scene, more of a topless scene. You couldn't see anything beyond. I suppose you did see his arse. That's one scene, right? The problem that I have is the stories that come out about John Barrowman have come from various sources, and one of which, funnily enough, being Noel Clarke and the actress who plays Jackie Tyler. Obviously, Noel Clarke's a fucking prick as well, but they did a convention years ago where they talked about John Barrowman getting it out on set and spinning around. They weren't there for that in that episode. They weren't in that episode. They weren't in that same set or that block or anything. There was no reason they would be on set for that day. So how the fuck do they know about it? How the fuck were they there about it? The only reason that could have been if they were doing a different scene or a different shot. And that's where it goes, well, okay, so you weren't just doing it for nude scenes. Basically, at this point, we've got John Barrowman just lying. Actively lying now, all the time, about everything that he does. And doubling down and going, oh, I wouldn't do it today, but I don't regret anything. It's like, just fucking stop, man. Yeah, I think a lot of them are from Torchwood as well. But that's the thing. They're too conflicted. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, he's going, oh, I was confronted about them at the time. But which time is that? Are we talking about the stuff that was apparently reported from Series 1 on Doctor Who? Are we talking about the time, that was on Torchwood? Because in the interview, he's then talking about David Tennant being the lead. So are we talking about the scenes in Series 3 or Series 4? Which production was it on? How many times have you been fucking whipping your cock out and making it a big thing? Sorry to be vulgar about it, but it's true. It's fucking insane, and he should be called up for that. My problem isn't with what he's done, because you can't change the past, right? And I think when something gets pulled up years later, it can be quite difficult to go, oh shit, because it might have felt okay at the time. But it's still it's still fucked up, and you have to look back and go, if you did that, you look back and go, oh shit, yeah, you couldn't do that now, and that's being called up now. You just go, look, I wholeheartedly apologise, I was completely wrong to do that, it is what it is, I wouldn't do it now, yada yada, right? But that's the thing, he didn't stop there, he didn't stop on Doctor Who, he didn't get told off once and pack it in, because he did it on Torchwood. He did it on Torchwood Miracle Day, that was 2010, 2011, he's done it on Arrow, that was fucking as late as 2018. Brother, he has been doing it on every fucking project he's been part of. Maybe it's just in his nature to flaunt himself around like that, and that's the sad thing, is it's completely unprofessional, but why would you die on that fucking hill? He was a massive fucking, people loved John Barrowman. Do you remember when he came back in fucking 2020? In Fugitive of the Jadoon? In Revolution of the Daleks? Remember, people fucking loved it. People were like, oh my god, they're bringing Captain Jack back. That's great. I was so excited about that. I was so excited. And now, he's just known as some fucking washed up, dirty old man who just keeps backing himself up for weird shit that he did on set fucking 20 years ago. He needs to, it's baffling to me. And then, but he's beyond saving. But I tell you what, fuck you, showmasters, for fucking paying him to come to your convention, giving him a platform to stand up on and flaunt himself. Come on, man. How many fucking times do you need to be told? There are numerous cases of things being reported of his on-set behaviour. He doubles down on it. He backs it up. He's been apparently blacklisted from the BBC. That should tell you everything you fucking need to know. He'll never come back to Doctor Who now. He'll never come back to Big Finish or anything like that. And beyond that, you've got other videos of him at conventions misbehaving and saying inappropriate things to minors. Like, come on, man. What the fuck are we doing here? Like, it's just crazy, man. Like, again, I loved John Barrowman at one point in time when I didn't know this shit. And I loved his character in Doctor Who and that whole... But even before that, man, I mean, he talked about, when even like 2011, 2012, he talked about Stephen Moffat killing the character because Stephen Moffat didn't want to bring him back for A Good Man Goes to War. In fact, Stephen Moffat did want to bring him back, but John Barrowman couldn't make it because he was doing Miracle Day. He's been a bit of a man baby for quite a long time. It just says a lot about him, I think. But yeah, that's my sort of thoughts from that interview. I think he's just a fucking idiot, to be honest. And I it was such a shame because I have a great memory of having the wonderful opportunity to go to the Doctor Who set when they were filming Revolution of the Daleks, and meeting him was such an exciting, amazing experience because it felt like something from my childhood. I mean, he was in the costume, he was on the TARDIS set, but he... Despite the fact that I didn't see anything at the time that I would think would be inappropriate, it's so disappointing because I can't look at him without thinking, what a fucking man baby. And it's so disappointing. So disappointed now. But, yeah. Yeah, his fucking performance is called Laid Bare. I mean, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I did the Sharknado parody video. Yeah, I did. I remember that. That was good. Because he just went to the cinema and demanded a refund because he didn't like the film. I mean, grow up, you fucking idiot. Anyway, what else has been going on that I can rant about? Quite enjoying this. Still respect him enough, not his actions. Yeah, I love what he brought to the show, and I can still watch those episodes of Doctor Who without being like disgusted, because I associate John Barrowman now with that sort of self-entitled, egotistical flaunting. Pertwee figure and Sonic. We could talk about that. Yeah. Third Doctor Sonic. So I haven't bought this. It's still in stock. Which is concerning, I think. The email that I got was that it was a very limited edition, so act quick, but they always say that. But it's still in stock. I haven't bought one yet, and I'm trying to debate whether I do or not, because at this rate, I don't know. The most exciting thing about this figure for me is that it's a Vortex edition figure, right? Which is basically the same as the Ncuti figure and the Millie figure. The Vortex edition toys have only been released in these two figures so far, Ncuti and Millie, 15th Doctor and Ruby Sunday. So for the third Doctor to get a Vortex edition figure is great, because it just means you've got more like posability, a much better face sculpt than what we've had before. It is undoubtedly probably the best ever third Doctor figure released. You can't deny that. My problem with it is the fucking price tag. I mean, I'm not paying £45 for this. I'm just not. Like, I've got a fucking mortgage. I can't be pissing about buying a fucking £50 Doctor Who set. I get it. I would 100% get the figure. I'm not buying the Sonic. I think if it was half price and it was just the figure, I'd get it in a heartbeat. But, like, I don't know. For a third Doctor figure, it's like, it's crazy good. And the Sonic looks great as well. Proper, like, metallic design. I just have no interest in... I have no interest in buying it. I would definitely like the figure, but I'm not interested in the Sonic. I just saw Ed Hudak there saying nice job against Liverpool. And nice job against Liverpool. Obviously, just for context for those who don't follow football, just going to say. He's referring to, of course, my home team, Newcastle United, winning their first trophy in football, their first domestic trophy in 70 years. 70 years. And we won against Liverpool against all odds. So today I'm not just wearing a cardigan, but I am in fact wearing my Newcastle United home kit. That's right, ladies and gents. He's slipped it into conversation. He's managed to get that in there. Up the fucking tune. Happy with that. I've not taken a Newcastle shirt off since Sunday night. Tune army. So yeah, we're happy about that. We're happy about that, lads. Anyway, let's talk about this fucking Doctor Who figure. Yeah, like, this is... It's a great set. I just can't afford to do... And if this is the... I think there's 4 more online exclusives coming this year. Yeah, you Grandad Scouts, but Liverpool have won fucking trophies, man. Liverpool have already won plenty of trophies. They didn't need this one. We fucking needed it. Yeah. Well, I mean, if anyone's interested in just the Sonic and not the figure, then I'd be more than happy to do a deal. Because I am interested in having the figure. I really do. I would love to have it. I just think it's too expensive to have a £45 action figure. I just think I can't justify that. For a Doctor that I'm not even that much of a fan of. If this was Tom Baker, I'd probably do it. If it was McCoy, I'd probably do it. If it was Troughton or Hartnell, I probably would, but I'm just not... I'm not a big Third Doctor guy. But I do love the figure. I think it's amazing, and I love these Vortex range figures. I think they're excellent. I think they're really, really good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very much... different internal mechanisms compared to the original. I don't know. Yeah, I might get it. If I can find someone who will buy the screwdriver off me and we can do some sort of deal and sort of split the price, then I'm 100% down to do that. But I'm not paying £45 just for a figure. Do you know what I mean? Well, it's expensive because it's a good quality figure. And the thing is... action figures aren't as readily available as they used to be. Kids don't play with action figures now. They have fucking iPads and they sit on that all day. Action figures nowadays are more for people like myself and of my generation and of older generations, of people who just collect figures and collect figures and collect figures. And that's a lot of fun. And yeah. It's good, but it's not made for kids anymore. Do you know what I mean? Something interesting I've got to show, actually, and I'm going to do a full stream about this at some point. So I went back home recently, and I came back with this massive fucking Tesco bag. It's not just any Tesco bag, don't worry, I'm not showing me shopping, but in this... much all of the still functional, like, non-broken figures from my childhood. All of them. Every single one. From my old collections and figures. We talked about this a bit recently, and there's some from different generations here. We've got a War Doctor there. We've got a Series 10 Missy there. There's some B&M ones in here. But a lot of them are also older ones as well. Yeah. Raggedy Man one. A lot of figures. And I'll probably sell a bunch of these at some point. At some point in the future I probably will. Holy shit. Look at that motherfucker. Yeah, a lot of these will probably be sold down the line, 100%. But until then, I definitely want to show them off in a YouTube video. Do something with that. Maybe it'll be a video, maybe it'll be a stream, I'm not sure. Prisoner Zero. That's fun. I don't think I have got Destroyed Cassandra, you know. I used to have it, definitely. I definitely used to have Destroyed Cassandra, but I couldn't find it when I went home. Because I couldn't bring back like the Face of Bo and the Rachnos and stuff. But I do have them somewhere, so yeah. But I've got a shelf up here, and it's currently got... I mean, I don't want to overdo it. See, this is my thing. A lot of Doctor Who fans like to have a big shelf and have all their Doctor Who figures on display. I've done it. I've been there, done it. I don't really want to do that now. And I'm happy with the little that I've got. I've got I've got the most recent TARDIS Doctor and Companion. I've got Ruby 15 and the TARDIS, the Geordie TARDIS, but with the 15th Doctor interior. I've got that on display, and I'm happy. I've got a couple of other TARDISes scattered around my room, but yeah, that's. Oh, I don't know what's going on. I'm worried that it's probably maybe a YouTube thing, because I'm not seeing any drop off in audio on my end. So who knows? Hopefully it'll fix itself when we go over to Twitch. Talking of which, we will be doing that in a few minutes. I'm going to have a quick break. And I will be back with you very, very shortly. I need to go to the toilet, basically. I need a piss. Enjoy that information. I'll be back with you. Just mute the mic, George. It's all right. I'll be back with you in a couple minutes. In the meantime, think of some questions and think of some fun stuff, and we'll talk about on the other side. I'm enjoying ranting today. And we are back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, we'll continue talking about this. There's some other stuff to talk about figures-wise. I did hear some rumours about some B&M sets that were leaked, revealed, whatever, and I'm going to just talk about that because I know there's a lot of contention on, oh, should we talk about this? But they're being made and they're going to be released and people are talking about them anyway, so it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's annoying, but That's not funny. We're not doing this. We are not doing this shit. We are not doing this shit. But I'm checking it anyway, because you never know. Don't listen to Dr. Master. She's being funny. Yeah, so, Doctor Who figures, B&M... Apparently there was a B&M Doctor Who leak, and I'm trying to work out what is being said about that. Let me have a quick look. Don't know why I'm yawning already. Jesus, wept. So, what I've seen is obviously your History of the Dalek sets. 'Tis what it is. We're going to get a couple more of those, we know. There's apparently going to be a 15th Doctor TARDIS set released with swappable interiors. So, like the exterior box. I have a feeling that'll just be a non-electronic B&M release of the 13th Doctor TARDIS, which is a gorgeous yet horribly inaccurate box. But it looks good enough. They might do some tweaking with it, but I've already got a 15th Doctor interior card, so if it's anything too similar to this, then I'll not be getting it, personally. That's just because I've already got one that looks pretty good on display, and I'm not going to be spending the ridiculous amount of money they're probably going to charge for that nowadays. Used to be 20 quid way back when. Nowadays, it's fucking like 30, 40 quid for a fucking TARDIS set. Absolutely mental, but it is what it is. All my figures are falling down now. This is great. There's apparently going to be a Revenge of the Cybermen set as well, so who knows. Revenge of the Cybermen. Good episode, good story. Try to remind myself. Yeah, Revenge. That's the Revenge of the Cybermen. I think this is a cool idea, but again, are we just going to be getting... We've already got like a Revenge of the Cybermen set from years ago. Is it just going to be a re-release of that? I presume so. We've already got those figures. So it's like, as a B&M range, not anything crazy, in my opinion. Unless the History of the Daleks ones are something spectacular. I'm not rooting too hard for that. But yeah, I'm just going off what I've seen on Twitter. I haven't got any official sources on that one, so that could be completely wrong. Take that with a massive pinch of salt, of course. But yes, stream a tier list of your most loyal viewers for the Who Bulletin. That's a terrible idea. Yeah. Ever considered doing a video on your ranking of the Doctors today? I haven't. Even way back when, I didn't do a ranking of the Doctors, because I find it quite a hard one to do. It's a really hard one, because I think you're never going to be 100% right, because favourite Doctor is completely subjective. Like, on different days I'll like different versions, but it's all essentially the same character. What the fuck? I've had a monster. What is going on? It is all effectively the same character, so I find it quite hard. So when I did do my ranking of Doctors, I did that in a sort of jokey way. But yeah, talk about loyal viewers. Let's talk about nostalgia a bit. Whoop, whoop. Oh, well, that's nice, Sarah Glover. Thank you for joining, though. I appreciate that. Like, it's still good. It doesn't matter whether you miss one or two or whatever. Like, if you're coming here for the first time on the Who Bulletin or you whatever, it's always really nice to see. What I will talk about quickly is nostalgia bit, of course, yada yada. I have a podcast, shocker, I know, massive surprise. But yes, talking about this again, we've got the next 2 episodes coming up very soon. Our last few have been really cool ones. We talked about the Oscars and the disappointment around that. Some random shoot the shit episode, and then obviously the behind the scenes of my short film, which I made, which I'll talk about in a minute. And yeah, we've also got an episode out this week talking about film music and soundtracks, because me and Cooper went to a orchestra performance thing of John Williams music, and that was amazing. And then the week after, so not this week but next week, we have our very first nostalgia based film club episode, which is a brand new little kind of offcut of the main show. It's still a main episode, but we have done it and it's coming out. And yeah, we put out a vote on Twitter and you guys fucking voted 50-50. 50 bloody 50 you voted. So we genuinely had to make our own executive decision, and that decision was made, and I can sneakily reveal that we reviewed, drumroll, Shrek. We reviewed Shrek, and that is coming out next week. So keep your eyes peeled for that. It's on the Nostalgia Bit YouTube channel for all the video podcasts, as well as on Spotify. But the audio podcasts are also on Apple, Amazon, and Castbox. So, again, keep your eyes and ears peeled for the latest episodes. We've been posting episodes every single Thursday. If it's Shrek, I unsub. We'll do Scooby-Doo eventually. It's just one of those ones where it was like, which one do we want to do at the time? And actually, I think, given that Shrek 5 is quite big news at the minute, I think it was a good one to talk about. And I think we had a lot of fun revisiting that film, but I'm going to have even more fun revisiting Scooby-Doo. I personally voted Scooby-Doo, but I think our joint decision at the end was, yeah, we'll do Shrek. That probably works best. In terms of promoting projects, one final one that I always want to push, if you're not already aware somehow, 2 weeks ago-ish, I released my first ever and debut, writer-director debut, short film. Well, if you want to know what I think of Shrek's face, you can check out next week's Nostalgia Bit episode, because we talk all about it in that. I'm not going to say anything here, got to gatekeep some stuff. Yeah, it's called Small Talks. If you haven't already seen it, it is linked in the description of this live stream, so please do check that out. And for those who have seen it, please do head over and check out all this shit as well. Notably, the letterbox. I am loving reading your guys' letterbox reviews of the film. It's so amazing for me to have, to be able to release something like a proper film and then actually see what people think about it in actual full-length reviews. It's really meaningful, and it's really nice for me to see, when you put so much hard work into something. So if you have seen it and you have got Letterboxd, please do give it a review, whether it's just a rating or whether you just say you've watched it or whether you write an actual review. Whatever you want to do, you can. Yeah, I'd really appreciate that. We've also got a making of and a soundtrack and all that sort of thing. The soundtrack is brilliant. From Chris Dodd. But the notable ones are actually just watching the film. If you haven't already seen the film, it's on the channel now. Before we move on and plough forward with Doctor Who content over the next few months with the new series coming out, I'd ask you to not forget about this little old film that we put a lot of time into and has been in the back of my mind as a sort of continued project for quite a long time. So please do check out this film. It is, again, it's my writer-director debut, and I'm really proud of it, and I'm really happy with it. And I'm really happy to just have it out there for people to see. So I've been reading all of the comments. I love you all for it. But if you're, as I say, if you have got Letterboxd, which is a great app for sort of logging films anyway. So if you haven't already got it, I mean, definitely consider downloading it. I've loved it. I love just logging when I've watched a film and writing what I think about it. Anyway, you can follow me on Letterboxd if you like. But if you have Letterboxd and you have seen the film, please do list a review on, or just say you've watched it. Even just press that. Oh, Christ, okay. Even just press the watched button. I've watched this film. Or give it a rating. Or if you want to give it a review as well. But yeah, that's all I'm going to shout about that. But yeah, this is my film. Please go check it out. It's linked in the description below. Yes, please go and check that out. Would really appreciate that. Anyway, Doctor Who news. Let's go over to 13. Because I am ready to play 13. But I'm also ready to answer any and all of your guys' questions. So please do hit me in chat with some of your questions and conversation topics regarding pretty much anything you want. Whether it's about the film, whether it's about the podcast, whether it's about Doctor Who, whatever you want. Drop it in the chat now and we will talk about it. Oh, I love this game, this stupid addictive game that we're eventually going to complete on stream. I sort of want to save it almost for like a charity stream now, like if we do like a proper like long charity marathon of playing this fucking dumbass game. That would be great. I fear that would be the best thing I've ever done. You got anything you want to tweak out about? Oh, people love me tweaking out. I mean, feel free to... People love me tweaking out. If you like me tweaking out, clip it and I'll stick it on TikTok. I haven't gone back to actually find that yet, but it was a good little tweak out. The thing is, I've said before, I'd absolutely love to do a charity stream again. The last one I did was 2020, Christmas 2020, and that'll be over 4 years ago now. which is crazy. First of all, doesn't feel like 4 years ago. But you have to bear in mind as well, whenever I've done these charity events in the past, they've always been whilst I've been in school or in uni, and I do have a lot of free time. And nowadays, I don't. And what you don't see, what you see is a 12-hour stream, right? What you don't see is the months of prep that go into an event like that. The constant, like, emailing of people to try and arrange, like, video messages and all that sort of thing. Never say never, but nothing for me will ever live up to that stream. Because that was just something completely different, and just something I'm so proud of, but like something I don't think I'll ever be able to top. But yeah, I did the Adventure Games live stream. I think I did like a Twitch thing where I streamed all of the Doctor Who Adventure Games episodes live, and I did that for charity. But again, that was quite a small one. Yeah. What would you, if you could, do Drunk Lords Watching the Web Planet? Probably not. I mean, I haven't spoken to Jack in a little while, but I think when Drunk Lords again was a very, very much, again, that whole thing of when I used to make more regular content, but also when, like, I used to get drunk more, and I don't do that very much. I'm trying not to make a habit of it, to be honest with you, because uni is a very, especially like lockdown era uni, very easy to just get shit-faced all the time, to be honest. But, you know, I don't really want to be doing that too much more often now. So all the sort of drunk Doctor Who ideas that I once had are very much now a product of its time, which is unfortunate, because I did like those little series that we did. But they are very much a product of their time. Still very fond of them, though. Still very proud of those projects, because they were different and new, and I don't think anyone's... There's definitely people who have done a similar thing before and after us, but I'm proud of that we made it our own thing, and it felt like a proper little brand. And even though there wasn't many episodes of it, people still remember it, which is really great. So I love that. Drunk Lords with Cooper. Yeah, again, so like me and Cooper don't really drink too much. The Christmas special, we did that. But again, it's that whole thing of like, me and Cooper have our show. We have Nostalgia Bait, and like... we're not turning that into like a Doctor Who thing. Like, that's not going to happen. We'll talk about Doctor Who. 100% we will. Oh, you better believe I'm going to talk about Doctor Who. But Nostalgia Bit will never become a Doctor Who show, if that makes sense. I'd rather it didn't. I'd always say that. But, I've got my Doctor Who stuff here on YouTube, and I love doing it. Nostalgia Bit is not that. And I love that it's not that, because, again, it just feels like it's got its own identity and its own thing, and it feels like something I almost enjoy doing more. Which shouldn't come as any surprise, because I've done Doctor Who YouTube for years, and as much as I love doing it, doing something with a mate creative like that, where it's just whatever the fuck we want to talk about on the day, is just very fun and very enjoyable, and it makes me very happy that people also enjoy that. Probably not as much as the Doctor Who stuff, granted, but the fact that anyone enjoys it is like great, because that's like a personal project. But yeah, something drunk maybe, but again, it's the same thing of just not being in uni anymore is like, that makes it definitely less appealing. Never know, don't ever say never. Have you seen the Prime show Devil's Hour with Peter Capaldi? It's very Doctor Who. Half his lines could be Dr. Moffat. It's involved in production as well. I saw the first couple episodes of it, and then I never went back to it, and I can't remember why. I didn't not like it or anything. I think I actually did quite like it. Just for some reason, never went back to it. I think just, again, busy time, and just, yeah. I've only seen the first episode of Severance, and that's supposed to be amazing. People keep talking to me about that, and I'm like, I need to watch it. But I just, again, haven't got around to it. Fucking game over, motherfuckers. I swear to God. Yeah. Russell Davis said he wanted to generate content as showrunner, and people got pissed at it. I don't think that's fair to get pissed off at that. I think that's a bit silly to get overly annoyed at or overly pissed off at. The reason I think that's quite silly, is unfortunately that's just what we're in now. It's like the music industry is like a successful song is one that goes viral on TikTok. Is that how it should work? Fuck no. But it's how it does work. So get used to it. Times change, and the TV industry is now very much that. If you want people to watch your show, you better fucking create a viral moment out of it. Otherwise, people aren't going to give a shit. And that's the sad truth of it. Creativity is gone almost now. We're in an age where it is all about viral clips. And it is just the same old shit, you know? And it's true. I only watched Ted Lasso because I saw a clip of it on TikTok and I thought, oh, this looks alright. And I watched it and I enjoyed it. And it's great. It's a great piece of fucking art. But because they've created moments that did go viral, it was more applicable to sort of pop up to me. Don't think it would have had the same notoriety if not. So Russell saying he wants to generate content, although badly worded, yes, I think he's right. He definitely understands that. I just wish he understood everything in that sort of same sense, because I think some things he's missing the mark on a little bit, but well. I haven't watched Adolescence. Has anyone actually seen the Minecraft movie? I don't think it's even out yet. Yeah. I think it comes out soon. I have no intention of watching it. I have no intention of even doing a fucking Nostalgia Bit episode on it. We were gonna, and I think we just sort of bend it off because there's a bunch of other stuff coming out around the same time. As we come into sort of April and May, you've got like a bunch of stuff coming out. I mean, you've got Andor, you've got the actual like May 4th, you've got Revenge of the Sith getting a cinema re-release, so a lot of Star Wars stuff happening. You've got Doctor Who coming out. There's just a lot of stuff going on, and not almost too much to keep up with. So we haven't really got time to do an episode about a shit Minecraft movie. Which is a shame, because I think it's one of those ones that would do quite well, but I think it's just, we'd be sort of disappointed if we didn't stick to some of our niches. Like, we'd always cover Doctor Who on Nostalgia Bit, we'll always cover Star Wars on Nostalgia Bit, because it's stuff that we're actually interested in, and it's definitely up our sort of brand street, I guess. Struggling here a little bit. Trying to do this. Watch YouTubers to make theories and laugh at everyone going, that spells TARDIS. Yet everyone also got as far as Sutek. Yeah. I think it's interesting, isn't it? Because I would actually say in this era where he's talking about generating content, it's got to be a mutually beneficial thing, right? You should be wanting to work with Doctor Who YouTubers and stuff, right? Chibnall era didn't do that, but what they did do was they had almost like the most thriving Doctor Who YouTube industry in that era, which is crazy to say. For me, like, I grew from nothing in the Jodie era. From filming onwards, I grew from nothing, and it was it wasn't even about like money, right? It's just about like notoriety. Like, my content was getting a lot of viewership at that time. I'm never going to deny that it was, and of course I was happy about that. That's as a content creator who'd been doing YouTube since I was like 12, 13. Yeah, very exciting time for me, to be honest. But like, you just haven't got that with Russell's era, which I think is really interesting. I haven't seen that as much. There are definitely channels which are doing, and I'm not saying it's like for my channel. I don't make content anymore. I make live streams. Like, I do Doctor Who live streams once a week, sometimes not even that, if I haven't got the time or there's nothing to talk about. I don't do videos anymore, and that's just because of my own time. You know, I've got a full-time job now. I have, responsibilities as an adult, unfortunately, to keep up with. So I don't make videos anymore. I don't really put. I will have stuff in the future. I would definitely have videos I would like to make, but I don't tend to make that much, like many actual videos anymore. So I'm not saying it's oh, I'm not doing well, so the industry must be the Doctor Who fandom is dead on YouTube. It's not, because you have people like Faries who still do incredibly well, and a lot of people who still do very well making content. But it's not as easy as it used to be. There's definitely some changes that have happened. Either something to do with YouTube or just something to do with Doctor Who and its demand publicly at the minute. I just don't think it's what it was. Not a bad thing. Not a diss. Just something I've noticed. Fuck off with the game overs, man. If you want YouTubers to help promote the show, then get them on the fucking podcast. Yeah, the thing is, they'll do these fucking podcasts and fan shows and all that sort of thing with people who aren't really fans. The Doctor Who fan show, as much as it was kind of cool to diss it back in 2017, 2016, that was the fucking best. Because it was run by actual fans who cared about the show, who had a history with the show, who had a passion for the show. And it did also support actual Doctor Who content creators in their different niches, right? It brought people on, and it was sort of washed out in a way because it has to be, because it's a BBC production and it can't have anything remotely criticising the show, which I think is a shame, because it would be nice to see some criticism of the show, even in an official capacity. I think it shows balls. It shows that they're comfortable with being criticised, because they've never ever looked comfortable being criticised, Doctor Who. They always look to immediately defend themselves and not look crap. But like, sometimes you have a crap episode of Doctor Who. Everyone knows this. No one knows this better than the showrunners, right? They know. Russell's watched the show for fucking years, right? Moffat's watched the show for fucking years. I guarantee Stephen Moffat has not sat there and thought every episode of Doctor Who's brilliant. He's probably not even thought every episode of his own is brilliant. So I think it's daft to pretend that Doctor Who's a perfect brand, a perfect show that everyone loves and hasn't got any shit episodes. It has. Everyone knows this. So, you know, have a podcast, have a show, have an official thing where that's acknowledged. Even just a little bit. Doesn't have to be fucking ridiculous, but just a little bit. And the current iteration of the podcast, where you've got these influencers on who don't watch Doctor Who don't know Doctor Who, they've done their market research, right? They have done their market research. I respect that. Because their market research has done wonders, and they've gone, you know what people like to watch in terms of Doctor Who? What they like to watch content-wise is they like to watch people like Blind Wave. They like to watch all these reaction YouTubers. They like to watch people who are brand new to Doctor Who, right? They watch people who are brand new to Doctor Who experiencing it for the first time. Look at that person on Twitter, the person who came from watching House of the Dragon and Matt Smith to then falling in love with Matt Smith's era of Doctor Who, right? That was massive. That did more numbers than any Doctor Who official BBC podcast, right? That's because they're learning all the wrong lessons from it. They're going, oh my god, well, clearly what we need is people who know nothing about the show for an official podcast. But no, that's not what we want. That's not what anyone wants. They want some content that they can actually sit and chew on and enjoy and get something sort of worthwhile out of it, not just a random clip from the end of the episode of Russell talking about the next episode. It needs to be something better than that. It needs to be something more, and then they're not providing that, frankly, and I think that's sad, to be honest. I think it's really sad. I think it's almost quite a sad state of affairs that Doctor Who's in that sense. I think the podcast idea, although comes from good market research, I just don't think, I don't know, I just don't think it's clicking. Bringing on influencers to do it. The George Clark thing is, but that fucking works because he's a fan of Doctor Who and has been for a long time. But you've got two people who don't know much about the show, who are pretending to know loads about the show, and it's very corporate. The more corporate something feels, the less people want to be involved with it. I've said before, if the BBC want me to fucking do a Doctor Who podcast, I'd do it for fucking free. Or very cheap. Maybe not free. But I'd do one. Set me up a studio, BBC. I'll record in advance. I'll do it. 100%. What an opportunity that would be. 100% I'd do it. In a heartbeat. Cost them no money. I'd fucking do it. I've got experience with Doctor Who on YouTube. Maybe my language and my Geordiness is not what they're looking for. I can understand that. But that's fine. But what people want are content creators who are more under that. Like, what about the guys from Review of Death? They'd be perfect. I know Billy now lives in, like, New Zealand or something. But, like, that's the kind of people you want. People who are rounded and nice and polished content, right? Like, people who make good content. And I don't think I make the best content in the world, but I like to think there's a bit of production value in it. Like, I wouldn't be sat making content if I thought, wow, this shot looks like shit. You know, like my background, I want it to look good. You know, I want it to look like it's a proper little show. That's the whole point of this. You can't, and it sounds daft because I'm not dissing any sort of smaller YouTubers who can make whatever content you want, but like the people who should be involved in official capacity are people who are presenters, effectively experienced presenters. It's like having someone to do their own TV show. But there are fans online, myself included, who would fucking snap the BBC's hand off to run some sort of official podcast or something alongside the show. I'd 100% do that. And if you work at the BBC and know someone who can get me that gig, then please do let them know. Partially joking, partially not. No, it's true though. I think like it's one of those things where you want fans talking about fan stuff, right? I don't know everything there is to know about classic Doctor Who. Some people would probably call me not even a true Doctor Who fan in some capacity because I haven't watched some of Classic Who. And because of that, some people might be like, well, this guy knows fucking nothing about the show. It's like, you're always going to get that. But I think people want something with... People want... What fans want are some people with some knowledge of the show at the very least. Not a ridiculous level of knowledge where everything is super niche, but it has to be constructed, it has to be proper, it has to come across as like official, but it has to sort of be somewhat casual where it doesn't feel too corporate. There is a market for it. People would love that. Yeah. But just saying, I'm not the person for it, more than likely. I mean, a lot of the content I make, maybe like a few years, if I had the sort of age and experience and like professionality in terms of visuals that I have now, but with the personality that I had when I was like 17, 18, I probably would have been a perfect fit. Nowadays, I've got to a point with Doctor Who, with making content where I'm like, I don't give a shit what I say anymore. I used to be very careful. I used to be very careful not to sort of ruffle any feathers or upset. And I'm not trying to ever upset anyone, but like, the fact of the matter is, when you're reviewing Doctor Who and you're talking about Doctor Who, it's like I'm not gonna hold off saying anything negative just in case I get an opportunity to work with the show, because realistically, they don't really care that much about it. It's like, who cares if you slagged off an episode a few years ago? No one really gives a shit about that. And that is perfectly fine, and that makes complete sense. But, yeah, I doubt the BBC are looking at me in my effing and jeffing and the kind of content that I make and then going, oh yeah, we should get this guy. But hey, if you want to, I'm here, and I'm fucking down, let me tell you that. In a heartbeat, I think, is there an end goal for Nostalgia Bit? Or do you just want to continue for as long as possible? There's not an end goal. I think a lot of people will tell you that end goals of podcasts are to be famous and rich and successful and whatever. And it's like, yeah, sure, money would be a good thing. But, like, I'm not sat there thinking this needs to be this, this needs to be this, this needs to be this. I would love to grow it into a professional podcast brand. The only limitation of Nostalgia Bit that we have, I think the content that we make is good. I think it's consistently good, and I think it is consistently solid. We might have a dud episode every now and then, but I think the Nostalgia Bit as a podcast is the most rounded, sound, and well-organised podcast or product or show that I've ever made. 100%. Because of the consistency. The only downside of Nostalgia Bit is me and Cooper will never, very, very rarely is it going to be a case where me and Cooper will be able to sit in a studio and record Nostalgia Bit unless we do it months ahead. It's very much going to be one of those online Zoom call podcast style things. Because he currently lives in Newcastle, but he travels for work. You know, we're already limited by the jobs that we do. and the free time, the very little free time that we have to film and edit these shows. And I love doing it, but we are already limited. We're never going to be at a point where we've got like a fancy studio and all this sort of thing. Podcasts are not a very lucrative thing. People do them for fun and to honestly promote their other stuff that they've got going on, and it's great. I just love having it. So for me, there's no real end goal. The only goal that I would like, genuinely, the only goal that I would like is to do a live episode, like in front of an audience. I'd like to build a following where we can do a live show with an audience. I love it. I'd love that. So least and favorite favorite and least favorite just news story. The Burger King one was one of my favorite just news stories because it was found so organically. Like I found it at work, just scrolling Instagram. I think I found it like at lunchtime at work. So it's just like really organic. I didn't have to look for that one. That just kind of popped up, and I was like, that is perfect. It's a perfect just news story. Good question though. Least favorite. I think you can always tell what my least favorite ones are when we get to them because I don't have much to say. If I don't have many jokes I can make, or I don't have many fun comments to say about something, you can tell I'm not really keen on it. So usually it's one of those ones where we just read out an article and that's kind of the end of the story. If there's not really anything funny to say about it, then there's not really anything funny to say about it. I think Just News needs a bit of a refresh at some point as well. I love the concept of it. Oh, look at that. We'll do one more and then we're going to head over to Twitch. In fact, we might actually go over to Twitch now, to be honest with you, because it's 8 o'clock. We've done about an hour and a half here on YouTube. Yeah, bless who's there. That's another yeah, different country, different time zones. That is tough. It is a tough gig, but yeah. We will continue these conversations about the podcast and all that sort of thing over on twitch.tv/gbsheard. We're playing more of The Last of Us Part 2, so please come and join us over there. We'll not be there for too long, but please do come and join us over there to continue these lovely chats and conversations. If you're not already following us on Twitch, would really appreciate that. Oh, we'll do one more game. We'll do one more 13 game. It'll be a quick one, and then, yeah. Oh, Dr. Master, yes. You know what? Keep forgetting to reach out, but yes, very interested. We do need that because I feel like that is something that, especially for me, I'm lacking. So if we can work out a process that works, where you're not just finding me stories or not just finding Cooper stories, then that is absolutely fine by me. Let's talk about that. I'm more than happy to do that. But yeah. There's one you sent on Twitter, I think, a while ago, and that was perfect. That's a perfect just news story because it was daft and it was funny and it was a bit naff. Oh God, we're already fucking this up and it's not even intentional. Jesus Christ, how the fuck are we this? That's what happens when you rush these games, man. You got to take it super slow, otherwise nothing happens properly. There we go, right, that's what we need to do, is just wipe out that heart at the bottom. Now we're kind of fucked because we've got Paul McGann up here. It's a good idea, actually. But yeah, I think I for nostalgia bit, there is no sort of end goal other than, like, I personally would love to do like a live show. I'd love to be in front of an audience and do something like that. I've never done that really before, and I don't know. I'd love it. I don't have any interest in being like famous, but like I would love to have enough of attraction where whenever I make something. Because for me, it's all about the creativity aspect. It always has been, always will be. Oh, I fucked that so bad. If it's about, if I can get people interested and engaged in stuff that I'm making, that's an exciting prospect for me. I love that. Oh, that's shit. Any other Sidemen Netflix show? I haven't seen that. Yeah, I've seen like it advertised, but I've not actually watched any of it. Good Place. That's interesting. Yeah, I've again, so many things to review, so many things to talk about. I definitely would like to get around to some of these things. I've heard that Just News jingle. We do. Yeah, we do. But again, it's like that whole thing of hiring people to do these things costs money. But yes, I would like to. I would like to have other segments. I'd love to do, like, it's always about just having the time to do more and more and more, and sometimes it's just not possible, and you just want to do a bunch of stuff, but you just bloody can't. And that's sometimes where we get to. Yeah, it's game over. I think we're going to move over to Twitch anyway. You can tell I'm sort of like ready to sort of shift over. So please do join us over on Twitch. Would love that. Yeah, we could start reacting to ourselves. That's quite funny. We're going to be going over to Twitch immediately. So please do check the link in the description below for twitch.tv/gbsheard. I promise you it's not as scary as it might seem. It's a lot of fun. You can actually interact and make things appear on my screen as I play video games. You can do stuff to distract me. And it's quite a fun, scary, little fun action game. So please do join. It'll be a lot of fun. And I'll love to see you there. So please do check it out. I will see you in a moment. But if we don't come and see Twitch, then I will see you next week here on YouTube. Of course. Aiming to have another stream out next week as well. So we will have to just wait and see. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you all